Welcome into the CHGO White Sox podcast. Someone said yesterday, CHGO comedy special, and I'm wondering if it's like Comedy Central, haha, or Bozo. Ayo, welcome into welcome into the CHGO White Sox podcast, coming to you live from Studio A, our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me is my producer, Katie Duffy.
Hello.
Hello. Everyone say hi to Katie. She doesn't like baseball. Who does? It's 2024. Come on, it's old. It's the past time. It's time has passed. I mean, even though there's, $765 million, Cam Newton will tell you that's a dead sport. Hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports channel. We have some great coverage coming out today. The Blackhawks are in the Winter Classic. That's why Southpaw is on top of these hockey pucks, because it's thematical. But there will be a live post game, or it will be a post game. I think hopefully it will be live.
I think it's live.
Steven's very good. He'll at least record it.
He'll make it happen somehow.
Yeah. But a live post game from Wrigley Field for the Blackhawks and Blues in the Winter Classic. So we are bringing you some great Blackhawks coverage today. Jay and Mario are out there at Wrigley Field along with Steven. So make sure you're subscribing to the channel so you don't miss that content. Hit the like button and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Sarah's letting us know her thoughts. Is she even working today?
She is not. No, she's
just
probably
loyal.
like pre-gaming right now.
She's just an OG diehard. So shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Ryan as well. Appreciate you hitting that like button. On today's show, we will be talking about New Year's resolutions because today is the last day of 2024 and it's topical. The Cubs did it. Beef Loaf on his Au Jus show did it. And Josh Nelson, Jim Margulis, and James Fegan did it on the Sox Machine show. So I just feel like it's apropos to do it. And then Chuck did a mailbag, but we do that every Monday. So, I just copy Chuck every Monday. So we'll be copying everyone else and talking about New Year's resolutions. I'll be going a little bit deeper into Eloy Jimenez signing with the Tampa Bay Rays. And then we'll wrap it up with some international prospect signing, as the prospect window is going to be opening in 16 days. And all of the attention is on Roki Sasaki, as we cleared up yesterday, as thankfully James Fox did DM me back. He heard that they were going to have an in-person meeting, but what we can go off of from MLB.com, there has been no in-person meeting yet with the White Sox and Roki Sasaki. I'm not holding my breath on it. I don't think he's going to be a White Sox, but there's some really intriguing prospects that we'll talk about. Maybe I'll do one a day. I'm actually telling you that I'm doing one a day. Now, I won't do one tomorrow because we have a show tomorrow. It's New Year's Day, but I have a show on Thursday, so we'll do one that day. All right? Stick tuned for the CHGO White Sox podcast. On today's show, we'll get into some New Year's resolutions, and let's lead off with the White Sox. There is that quote from about a week ago or so from Brandon Spano, the ALLCITY CEO, that said, sometimes it feels like we care about the White Sox more than the White Sox do. The White Sox, though, are going to be playing baseball in 2025, and this podcast got a little bit thinner recently. So, I don't know about that statement. I do want the White Sox to be a little bit better with fans, though. We have the slogan, we make it fun to be fans, or we try to, take you along the ride of fandom. We try to elevate your level of fandom. We try to be fans alongside you, and sometimes that's tough. It was tough to watch 162 White Sox games. It was tough to watch 121 losses last year, and it didn't really feel like the White Sox embraced the true historical suckage until the true latter half of the season. And when they did start embracing it, it was really fun to embrace it with the team. Not only were there stuff like near the end of the year, I think there was like some bit where they were on an iMac and they did a recording for social. That was good. But recently they did the video with Gus Varland where Patrick Nolan was like, I don't know who the hell this guy is. He sounds made up. And then he told you that his name is Augustus Varland, and he was juggling baseballs and talking about his brother Louis. And man, that was fun. I got to, now I'm excited for Gus Varland in 2025. I wouldn't have said that 3 weeks ago, but now I am. I would like the White Sox to be just better with fans. There does seem to be an earnest intention to try to win fans over now. I think it was very big that Sheena Quinn was on the show when Vinny and Herb were here. We don't often get to talk to people higher up at the White Sox, and Sheena gave us 15 minutes to talk about Sox Fest Live. Obviously, they're trying to sell tickets, but hey, an appearance is an appearance. I was able to go with Vinny to shoot the Will Venable one-on-one. We got a one-on-one, which is cool, but I was like Vinny's little brother for a day. It was awesome. I'm very used to being short, but around Vinny, like I'm a few, like 6 to 5 inches shorter. So it really felt like I was just looking up to Vinny the whole day. I'm like, what are we doing next? But it was cool that we got to do that. Felt like, they were embracing a little bit more of fan media, if you will. So I just hope that they do embrace that a little bit more. I think Sox Fest Live 2025, although not everyone is excited. I know Melissa isn't super pumped about that. And not embrace losing. I'll get to that in a second, Shay. You just are mishearing me. But I think they're trying to make Sox Fest 2025 as intriguing for fans as possible. They're trying to pull back the curtain as much as possible. They're trying to give you as much interesting tidbits as possible. I don't know if it is the right way to do a fan fest, but they're at least trying. And I think that they're trying in something new to keep it fresh and hopefully to create new, different memories. So I am for that. And then, even though I'm not his biggest fan, even though he's blocked me on Twitter, along with his partner, Steve Stone, which is fine. Hey, I get it. I block people all the time. Now, basically on Twitter, you can just see people who have blocked you anyways, right? Yeah, so, you know what? I'll still be seeing your tweets, John. Mm-hmm. But even John Triffin going on Festivus with the 108 and giving them 20 minutes, that's a great way to embrace the fans. He did a great job with all of the tailgates and going out there before the games. I thought, that's at least the one good side that he did have and that he did show. He didn't have a gripe to bring on Festivus. Kind of ruined the point there, John. All right, we get it. You're a foodie, but, everyone has to eat food. Give me a gripe. You're a human. Things have to piss you off. I pissed you off enough to get blocked on Twitter. You could have said me. That would have been great. You know how much over that would have gotten with Beef Loaf, Chirizi, and My Sox Summer? You could have just said me.
That would have been such a flex for you, too.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on. Fantastic. I need something. I need to pick me up. But anyways, I do think that they are trying. I think that it was getting better near the end of the year, and I hope that is the case for 2025. So resolution 1, embrace the fans. Che Fidel saying, we need to embrace our legends, Frank Thomas, Paul Konerko. Frank has been on the post-game show. Frank has been embraced by the, organization. Paul Konerko, I think, is just at home chilling. I think if they want to get Paul Konerko for an event, they easily can. Embrace losing as in like, hey, our reality is not everything's great and shiny. It's more of you're a part of this with you. Take this ride where we get better. We did get a new manager, and Getz is doing more, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but there's nothing we can do about Jerry. You just have to tell yourself the serenity prayer. You have to tell yourself that you are powerless. You just have to wake up and enjoy the ride. And I think that's what Steve Stone was trying to tell me in 2022, and I was just being bitter. I wasn't listening. You could, what's it called? What is it? Enjoy the ride or be bitter. I chose be bitter. I should have enjoyed the ride because, man, that ride was over very quickly. And it sucked, and now we're here, and now I have to wait in line to maybe, just maybe, enjoy the ride again in like 2027. So it's more about, let's make the line fun. Let's make waiting fun. Make a little bit more specific content that shows off the personalities of the players a little bit more, rather than, oh yeah, Marcus Timms really showed Kevin Pillar how to turn on an inside fastball. Like, yeah, well, Kevin Pillar is a 12-year veteran. He should be able to do that. Anyways, resolution number 2. And this is a fan-centric move, and I'm not trying to bash anyone trying to make a living. This guy has played a lot more professional baseball than I have. glass house, living in stone, something. I never really got that metaphor. But I don't want to see Zach Remillard in a White Sox uniform again. I don't need to see it. We saw enough of it already. The Hallmark movie is over. If he's going to be in a White Sox uniform, he'll be 31 come February. It should be as a minor league instructor. It should be as a coach. Maybe you give him the Nicky Delmonico treatment. Maybe he goes back to Coastal Carolina and enjoys his college. That's what everyone does after after their professional career flames out. They just go back to college and they beg for a job, and usually they give him a job. All right, so Zach Remillard could just go back to Coastal Carolina. I don't need to see him in a White Sox uniform again. Maybe, talking about in-house content creation, maybe they fund a Hallmark movie about Zach Remillard's life. We've talked about the Hallmark movie. He's a perfect candidate. Herb could be the co-producer. I'm just saying, I don't need to see him in a White Sox uniform again. He is currently a free agent, but we don't need to see an NRI for him come spring training. I think it's still possible, and it would gross me out if that happened. So I'm going to say no to Zach Remillard. I think that would be resolution for Chris Getz. I think that is truly moving on from the past. Hit the thumbs up button. We appreciate you hanging out. Fat Hipster said, I resolved to mute Schriffen and turn on the radio broadcast. Very easily done. Len is a TV broadcaster already. I'm going to give John another chance. And this is a part of, I guess, my fourth one. So we'll skip to the fourth one, but I'll enjoy the ride. You know what? If John is I don't want to be too harsh, because what I was about to say would be too harsh. If John wants to be very over the top, I would be very for that for 2025, because then it's pushing the point of camp. Then at that point, you are embracing the suck to the point where, hey, it's August and they're just finally winning their 30th game. You should be going ballistic for that. We should be celebrating every win. The South Side should be standing up, because it didn't feel like they embraced the suck. It didn't feel like the rebuild was truly the rebuild. It didn't feel like Chris Getz wanted to say those words last year. Now I feel like those words are being spoken. I'll give him another chance. What does he look like in 2025 when he's not telling us that, hey, in Milwaukee, hey, they're just catching teams at the wrong time? I think in April, like after week 2, when they were looking as horrible as they did, Sox Machine brought up, hey, this 39-game stretch is going to be horrible for the White Sox. And come game 6, when they're in Milwaukee getting their asses kicked, John's like, just catching teams at the wrong time. No, they're just playing playoff teams. And the playoff teams kicks the historically bad team's ass every time. And hey, to John, on the 108 show, he did realize there just wasn't that much talent on the team. No disrespect to the guys. Again, they're trying to make an earnest living. It's just more about the 88-year-old owner that hoards wealth,
I do wonder how people will react differently to him this season, because last season when he's throwing all of that, like, uber positivity and, the company line, when he's throwing all of that out at you, you're hearing it at a time when what you're seeing on the field doesn't match the expectation you had going into the season. Whereas this season, we're going in expecting them to be bad. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
Very bad.
Yeah.
So when he's now like kind of touting that company line and saying those same things when, things are still bad, but you expected them to be bad, I do wonder if people are a little bit easier on him this season, this time around, because of that.
Steven isn't wrong saying, I don't know how anyone could have pride in the White Sox last year. Schriffen is a shrill and just awful as an announcer. I could definitely see the shill part of it, but maybe, like you were saying, 2025 comes back around and it's a little bit more aware of the situation. I also think it's being next to 1980 Cy Young Award winner Steve Stone. He was better with Beckham. Because John and Gordon are of our similar age. Yes. It's not like talking to your grandpa and he's telling you war stories about Earl Weaver. Mm-hmm. It's, a little bit more of a conversation. So I just didn't know if, that was, I think, I don't know if that's the right pairing, even though Steve Stone is the legend Steve Stone. Maybe Gordon would be a better partner for John, a little more youthful of a presence.
Yeah, I mean, I threw this in the chat, but like personally, big Gordon Beckham fan. Like I just think he's so fun. I genuinely think he'd be good next to a brick wall. Like he just is so much fun and is so good at degrading himself to the point of entertainment. So yeah, I think it worked with John there.
There's something very charming about certain Southern gentlemen, you know? I mean, he's really got that Southern charm, that Gordon Beckham. That's how I felt in 2007 when I was just a young boy, and I still feel that way. Anyways, all right. We're going to take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. Very cool. All right. For the best way to end 2024, head to Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram and shop the wrap-up year sales events to score some of the year's best savings on new vehicles. Before the clock strikes 2025, hurry into Ray CDJR to browse their huge inventory of new vehicles, and right now celebrate the end of 2024 with $24,000 off MSRP on select new vehicles with a dealer discount, or shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. Right now, you get the manager special on a new 2024 Jeep Compass Latitude. Its MSRP is $34,440, and the price with the Ray discount, $24,578. The best part about being able to read those numbers is I know Ray's Price Promise exists. The numbers you're hearing right now are the same you could expect to shop in-store and online. That's because Ray's Price Promise means no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees. So if you are in the market for a new vehicle, then you have to check out the team at Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram because they are the only team we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, visit Ray CDJR in Fox Lake or raycdjr.com, serving the community since 1963. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Empire. With Empire Today, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring, so of course they have copycats, but Empire cannot be beaten on their quality, service, and speed. That's why competitors advertise low-quality products that Empire simply won't carry. Empire keeps shopping for floor simple with a curated product selection, and you can check out their beautiful product selection with their virtual floor designer. It's a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's easy. Just snap a picture and instantly see how new floors will look in your room. So schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details. Again, head over to empiretoday.com/CHGO. Listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. All right. And yeah, no, Sarah is not fired.
You don't sing the Empire jingle. That's interesting.
5, 8.
No, don't toss to me though. That's the thing.
No, but wait, always get worried.
588 2300.
Okay, I was singing the Luna one. 588 2300. Empire Today.
10 out of 10.
Thank you. All right. Who won the Cy Young? Oh, yeah, Steve Stone. I mean, hey, honestly, here's my hot take. If you transported me back to 1980, I think I'd have a shot. I think I'd have a shot to win the Cy Young. Those guys were not the athletes du jour. Those guys, I mean, people talk about Wilt Chamberlain and the type of athlete that he was going up against, the corn farmers, right, in Iowa, basketball players in 1964 that he was talking about. If Steve Stone is winning a Cy Young in 1980, I mean, he's little. He's a tiny guy. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just why, the wheels came off so quickly for him.
Like
but
tiny as in short or tiny as in like scrawny?
I mean, just like, I think that I could probably size. I mean, I think that me and Steve Stone are probably, like, even Steve Stone when he was in 1980, I think, like, we're probably the same size, me and him.
But does that translate to good pitching?
Well, it's a equation. I mean, honestly, just the more mass you have, like, the harder you'll throw.
Okay,
I think.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Look, I believe
Please
you.
don't. Oh, I don't believe myself.
Do we have a baseball scientist in the
He's
chat?
5'10", 175. I am 5'9", 187. I weighed myself at my
the same thing.
family's Christmas party. I mean, obviously, 187 of
Christmas cookies.
Unworked out, Christmas cookies. And then, $175 of maybe muscle. But still, $175.
I mean,
it's tiny.
All right, we got to get a time machine. That's it. You convinced me.
I'm just saying, If anyone has a time machine, we could, go back and save the dinosaurs or something like that, or we could make me the 1980 Cy Young.
It's a toss-up, really.
It's a toss-up, really. So there you go. All right. Where are we at? We're in New Year's resolutions. Okay. There is a certain White Sox content creator that has Turkish hair plugs that tweeted, "I can't tell who the bigger bust is, Moncada or Eloy." I think that take is very stupid. Bad. Is your internet broken? Did you not watch baseball for the last 6 years? You just have the name White Sox in your, stage name for shits and giggles. Can I say that word? I don't think so.
Of course you can.
Eloy was the human equivalent of the backyard baseball power-up, the undergrounder. You would get that power-up. It was way worse than the aluminum bat because aluminum bat was an automatic home run. The undergrounder was a ball that went directly into the ground, would bury itself under the field, and then you wouldn't know where it would pop up, right? It would just go right in front of the pitcher, and then it would turn up all the way in the back corner behind the fence. Sometimes it would bounce over and give you a ground rule double. The issue with Eloy is his game wasn't taking place at Steel Stadium, Ernie's backyard. It was taking place at Guaranteed Rate Field, where Roger Bossert is trimming the grass perfectly with scissors, and it's real physics. The ball just hits the ground and doesn't move. Yoan Moncada moved from second base, went to third base, and was better defensively. Eloy Jimenez couldn't play right field, couldn't play left field, couldn't even play DH. He didn't even have to field. He couldn't even field that position. Moncada, in 2 separate seasons, put up pretty much the same amount of WAR that Eloy has in his career. 2019, he had 5 WAR. 2021, he had 4 WAR. I think Eloy in his career has 4.9 WAR. Moncada can roll out of bed and have a better season than Eloy Jimenez. If you do not know who the bigger bust is, I just don't think you were watching baseball. Eloy Jimenez didn't see the field, and when he did see the field, he didn't really dominate. He had 30 homers once, but outside of that, he wasn't really fast. His contact ability got worse and worse. He's kind of smelled 300. One year, I think he hit 295. But his last year, he's hitting 240 because every single ball is a grounder that hits the dirt 45 feet away from the plate. I do not understand if you hold or still think that Yoan Moncada is a bigger bust than Eloy Jimenez. Moncada, number 1 prospect in baseball, is still going to get a major league deal, is just waiting for Alex Bregman to sign, and he'll go and be someone's sloppy seconds. But Eloy's getting a minor league deal with the Tampa Bay Rays. It's over for him if he doesn't hit it with Tampa. Maybe he goes to the KBO. Maybe he has a decent year and then he comes back as a 32-year-old. Maybe a little bit of a Miguel Sano scenario. But former number 4 prospect and doesn't even have 5 WAR in his career. Moncada is going to be able to possibly hit that 20 to 25 career WAR mark. If he's able to stay healthy, he'll be an all right player probably until he's 35 at a major league level. It could be over for Eloy Jimenez. So let's just not be dumb. Let's just not be stupid. We just shave your head. And even though the hair plugs are free, maybe we just avoid the hair plugs. I don't know. I know the turkey surgeons do a very good job. The plastic surgeons do a very lovely, lovely job. You're in beautiful hands over there. I mean, that's where the true celebrities of Bravo go to get their work done. It's fairly cheap compared to America. So I understand going to Turkey, of all places. That makes sense. But I think a couple of the follicles got a little too deep. They're poking the brain. All right. I heard this on Sox Machines podcast. Please have one minor league bat that gives us hope. One of the writers wrote in, and that was their resolution for the year, and I'm just going to steal it. And I feel bad because I'm not giving credit to the fan because I did not listen to, I was listening it at 1.5 speed, and I don't know who wrote it. So go back to, I think, like the 30-minute mark of Sox Machines podcast from today, and Josh Nelson will read off the person's name. But the sentiment was perfect. I hope that it's George Wolko. I hope that 19-year-old that strikes out 40% of the time, that's 6'7" and looks like Aaron Judge half the time, and then half the other time looks like Joey Gallo / Adam Dunn. I'm hoping that he's the one that hits, because I think Colson and Kyle Teal will be pros. I don't know if they'll be all-stars. I don't know if they'll be stars. I don't think Colson's going to be a shortstop. I think he'll probably end up at third base. It seems like Teal will likely be a catcher. So, as long as he's an above-average defensive catcher, he'll probably be fine when it comes to, as long as he be an average catcher. It's like an 82 weighted runs created plus, that's fine. Caro, I feel like he'll either be a star and like a Carlos Santana type, or he'll just stink. Wolko feels like he could be a superstar. And I would love if next year, maybe he starts off at Kannapolis, turns that 40% K rate down to 32, 30, if we're lucky 28, and just starts hitting bombs left and right. And then you see him progress up to Birmingham, and he, maybe strikes out a little bit more, but you're still seeing bombs from him. If he turns into a true gem of this organization, I think that is what is best for the 100% a 100 percentile rebuild for the White Sox. 100 percentile rebuild. Wolko's a star. Montgomery's at least a shortstop. Teal and Caro are a dynamic 1-2 tandem behind the plate. Maybe Andrew Vaughn starts getting on base a little bit. But I think that, Wolko is a very small piece right now, but he is going to possibly be one of the bigger ones if this rebuild ends up hitting. I was looking at some numbers for the minor leagues, the Carolina leagues, players that are 19 or younger that have had the highest weighted runs created plus in a single season since 2006. I don't know much about the Carolina League. I think it used to be a AA affiliate. I think it used to be a higher league. So I don't think many teenagers played in it. A lot of these names are from post-pandemic. But Wolko, in 2024, had the 15th best season for a teenager in the Carolina League with a 126 weighted runs created plus. And yes, he is the only player that has a 40% K rate, and the only player that's close within the top 20 is Carson Williams in 2022, a 32.1% K rate with a 124 weighted runs created plus. Williams is a shortstop, and his future value is a 60. Wolko's current future value is a 40. So even if he gets up to like a 50 and is kind of recognized that by prospect graders, and if he ever shows a 60 future value, I mean, we're talking about a superstar. So if he could be a superstar outfield, I'm drooling. I'm salivating. I'm smelling a Comiskey dog. It's a foot long of meat. We're going to stop.
Whoa.
Yeah, no. I didn't.
Whoa.
All right. We have to break. I was more talking about the foot long Comiskey dog. Can we break?
Do you want to take the commercial break?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
Let's take the commercial break.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Okay. Yeah. Great. ComEd. All right. Did you know that ComEd can help businesses save money by becoming more? Did you know ComEd can help businesses save money by becoming more energy efficiency? No, I did not know that. Yup. The energy efficiency program can help find up to 35% in energy savings.
So what does a business have to do?
Oh, Katie's here. Just sign up for a free facility assessment at ComEd.com/biz.
Well, why aren't more businesses doing this?
Oh, well, maybe they forgot the website of ComEd.com/biz. ComEd.com/biz.
It's so simple. ComEd.com/biz.
ComEd.com/biz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers and are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customers' energy usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Game Time. If you're looking maybe for, the game just started. Maybe you're looking to get into the Winter Classic. Maybe you're in Wrigleyville and you just want to walk over. Check out our friends at Game Time. They can have last-minute tickets for you very easily, but most importantly, they have a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. It was very easy for me to get $3 tickets with our friends over at Game Time when I wanted to get into the final homestand of the White Sox series. You just wait until 6:40 when the game's about to start, and tickets are beautifully laid out by price, by the best deal. And of course, the 100 level tickets that are $3 are a fantastic deal. But maybe you're going to a more in-demand show. They will filter out all the fluff. They will find the best section, the best row, the best seat for the best value with Game Time Picks. It's curation made easier to help you find better values for tickets to sports, concerts, comedy, and theater. And you can also toggle the all-in pricing feature that shows the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. And the lowest price guarantee, Game Time will credit you a 110% of the difference if you find tickets in the same row and section for less on a different website. They will fund that to you in 15 minutes or less. Their customer service is fantastic. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Game Time. Who? Okay. We over what I said?
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
On? Okay.
You didn't even say anything.
Right.
You've been silent for the last 31 and a half minutes.
I wish. I think that would be better.
Sure. We could try that next week.
I appreciate you, Emma. Shout out to Emma. I think, honestly, the whole reason why Emma's in the chat today, I accepted her invitation on LinkedIn.
Oh.
I haven't seen her in the comments before during a show, but now that I've accepted the LinkedIn invitation,
she was waiting for that.
We're best buddies.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, there you go.
Gotta support the connections. I get it.
Well, I mean, they're a coworker, so I mean, I do know her. She made all the cool graphics for Big Ten. Mm-hmm. All the ones that, it's like we have little pennants, and then they would change to Oregon's color when we talked about Oregon.
That is really cool.
And changed to Indiana's color when we talked about it. It was really cool. It was fun because there's like 3 that are all red. Or no, there's like 5. Maryland, Indiana, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Rutgers. It's like 5 red ones, and there's just very small details that you had to figure out, like, oh, that's that team.
That's fun.
Anyways, moving on up. Anyways, I think it'd be great for the future if George Wilcow hit. And that's where we're going to leave that conversation. Final one. This one's probably obvious, and people have mentioned it in the chat about the 3 words we love: sell the team. If Reinsdorf is serious about his future prospects and is aware of the future of this franchise, he's probably not wrong that a new ballpark would help. I mean, they bought out all of the surrounding area and just made it parking lots. Joni Mitchell warned you about it with Big Yellow Taxi, but here comes Jerry Reinsdorf, tearing it down and making a big parking lot. No one wants that, Jerry. We want parks. We want places to live. We want places to buy shoes. Come on. Put some buildings around there. Put some businesses around there. Make it a true environment and neighborhood. He wants that with the 78. He wants to only give up $200 million for it. That's not realistic or going to happen. I should resign. This is horrible. Should I just quit my job like mid-show?
No,
hey,
please.
You know what?
No.
F for effort, and also you should quit. You suck. You're horrible. Shout out to you, Kluba 1972. I bet you're great at your job. Anyways, the whole thing with Reinsdorf, if you're going to want a stadium and if you're going to want that, you're going to need to put up more than $200 million. Again, I was taking a look at City Baseball Magic, and they were talking about building Rate Field, the new Rate Field, back in 1991. And it was $150 million to build that stadium. And it was all stadium or state-funded money. And here's Jerry being like, oh, I'll give you that plus $50 million for this new stadium that will cost billions and billions of dollars. But there is no cavalry of state money coming. I don't think a new stadium is likely. They're trying CHSN, and we're sponsored by CHSN. But I just don't think that endeavor is going to be as fruitful as the previous broadcast money. They were getting paid hand over fist by NBC, by Fox, to have live baseball on those TV channels. But now that everything's streaming, they're not getting that money. And it's now up to them to now produce all of this content. I think it's a perfect time for Jerry to wash his hands clean. But apparently he doesn't think so. Dan Hayes of The Athletic back on the 13th said, sources confirm Phoenix Suns / Mercury owner Matt Ishbia and his brother Justin Ishbia are interested in purchasing the Minnesota Twins. 3 days after they were approved as owners in February 2023, the Suns acquired Kevin Durant. Bloomberg was first with the report, and then Adam Hogue followed up with this by saying, I've heard for a while that the Ishbia brothers would be interested in buying the White Sox should Jerry Reinsdorf ever sell. Justin's private equity firm is based in Chicago, but you can't buy something that isn't for sale. Instead, they're targeting the Twins. We heard, though, earlier on that Jerry Reinsdorf is always listening to a deal. He was listening to Dave Stewart about possibly selling the team. But apparently, if the Ishbias have made an offer, it was declined by Reinsdorf. I think that now is the perfect time to get out. I think now is the right time to get out. And especially with another team being up and for sale in your division, now is the time to sell because the Ishbia brothers seem to get it. They did the wonderful billionaire thing. Did you see this, Katie? At the Phoenix Suns Stadium, everything now is reasonably priced.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, now you don't have to pay $7 for a pretzel.
Yeah, I mean, that's what all billionaires should do, but different conversation for a different day.
Now a hot dog that was made out of $2 meat is now $2. Who would have guessed? So, you have, I think, an owner that gets it, an owner that understands that the main part of a fandom and the whole part of owning a team is growing that community as large as you can and making it as inclusive as possible, especially for 1%ers in America. That is what I think should be the biggest focus of owners. So if Jerry does just want to get out while he should, this offseason might be the right time. And maybe he's listening to the wrong people. I don't think he should be listening to Dave Stewart. I think he should be listening to the Ishbia brothers because they seem to be serious about owning a team. It seems like they very much have the money to buy a team. And it feels like if they own the Twins, they know what to do. And I think we will be screwed if we have more smart owners in the division, especially rich ones. That's going to be a lot different than the Guardians' current ownership, who are smart and poor. You're going to have smart guys who are rich? Yikes.
That's dangerous.
That's dangerous. That's very, very dangerous. I also have one resolution, too, or I want one resolution in 2025. Published February 14th, 2024 from ABC7, Chicago police could give final report soon on White Sox ballpark shooting, sources say.
Oh, my gosh.
What happened? It's been about 8 months, 10 months. There's no report. Here is the ABC7 news story. Shortly after the incident, the acting Chicago Police Department Superintendent Fred Waller suggested the shots had to have been fired from inside the ballpark. Quote, it's still under investigation. We're dispelling a lot of things, Waller said at the time. It's coming from outside is something that we've almost completely dispelled. However, days later, White Sox chairman Jerry Reinsdorf told reporters Waller had updated him with different information. Reinsdorf said the police have not ruled out the possibility or the probability that gunshots the other night came from outside the park. Now, sources tell ABC7 that the police are poised to report that it's most likely the shots were fired from outside the stadium based on several factors. There was no visible reaction in the left field bleachers that would have been expected if a gun had gone off nearby, and there was no sign of any muzzle flash. No one tested positive for gunshot residue. Perhaps most significantly, the injuries to the victim's leg would have been more extensive if the shot had been fired from the vicinity of the left field bleachers. Sources say those conclusions are somewhat bolstered by an information from ShotSpotter device nearly a mile south of the ballpark that detected 6 gunshots right around the time people were injured in the ballpark. Current Chicago Police Department Superintendent Larry Snelling brushed off questions about the shooting the other day. Listen, we'll talk about that another time. The White Sox issued a statement about the investigation. We remained hopeful that CPD's investigation will result in the conclusion and answers that will be clarified for the public and our fans, and we continue to believe strongly that shots came from outside the park, the statement read in part. I would love for some clarification love for some resolution there. If we want true New Year's resolutions, I would just like to know if, hey, maybe some random miracle shot came from the green line over by UII. I doubt it. And mainly, we know security at Guaranteed Rate Field sucks. It takes way too long to get into the park because the security is so slow. And it would be funny, I guess, because no one did end up really getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
If that person somehow got a gun into the park and shot themselves. I think a crazy gun bullet from miles away is unlikely. And I think that at least it would be funny to make fun of White Sox security, who allegedly is a part of an owner's company, and that's why they're the securities of the White Sox. But, nepotism in a way. It'd be great if we could just make fun of the company a little bit more, because they're already bad at their job. And if they were worse, that would be funny.
I mean, do you feel like that's why we don't know? Because, that's my theory,
Well,
is that they know that somebody in the park had a weapon and used it, and they're keeping it away from the public because they know that we're just going to roast them more for that.
Yes. And I think part of it, too, is just right now, there was an interim police superintendent from March 16th to May 15th, Eric Carter, then Fred Waller from May 15th to September 27th. So that dude was like, I know I'm out of town. There's no way I'm touching this. And then Larry came in on September 27th. Maybe Larry is getting a little bit of rub from Uncle Jerry.
Yeah.
I would assume that the White Sox, again, as they've put out many statements, would love to say it came from outside the park. I just think that they're probably going to avoid it and never give an answer, so that way they don't have to lie, and then that way they don't have to tell the truth, because the truth is ugly for the White Sox, and the White Sox don't want that out, and the police department doesn't want to lie, because then if it happens again, then it's like, why didn't you do your investigation? Then they'll just be like, it was incompetence.
It's just a cascading waterfall of failure on top of failure. There's no way that concert afterwards should have happened. There's a lot of things that just went wrong. I don't think we'll ever know. So.
Yeah. It was Tony La Russa, as Ryan said. I mean, we could just blame Tony. That works.
Sure.
Hey, why not? All right. So those are resolutions, and we are done with them. So there you go. Woohoo. And I'm not afraid to go to 35th and Shields. We know that security's jank and everything. It's just more making fun of the security. Because, hey, it's not the people's fault. It's not the security guard's fault that company sucks and is underfunded and is not up to date. It's just more of signs of cracks from the organization and the owner. Anyways, let's get into the bust that is Eloy Jimenez. He signed a minor league deal with the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays really don't sign a lot of free agent bats. 2024 in the offseason, they signed Ahmed Rosario. In 2023, they signed Ben Gamel and Charlie Culberson. 2022, they signed Royals legend Ryan Healy, who was coming off a KBO stint. 2021, they re-signed Mike Zunino and White Sox legend Kevin Smith. The only one that really did anything interesting was Zunino. He was the only one to have a positive year. He was with the Oregon 2020, and then in 2021, he had his first 30 home run season and an F4 of 4.1. I don't know if the Rays have this magic of fixing players, and Eloy does need true fixing. The place that I would think makes the most sense is he is a good fastball hitter, or at least was in 2021, 2022, and 2023. Positive run value against fastballs, 3.10 and 2 in 2021, 2022, and 2023, respectively. 2024, -2. And it mainly comes from not hitting the ball harder, still similar exit velocities, similar hard hit percentages. He hit the ball the second hardest out of those 4 years in 2024, 54.1%. This highest year was 2022, 59.3%. But the biggest thing is the launch angle. 2021, 12 degrees. 2022, 2023, 8 degrees. And then 2024, you're cutting that in half to 4 degrees. It's just consistently driven into the ground. He's not able to elevate. And I think the one thing that is the true saving grace for Eloy Jimenez, I think he will end up being on the major league roster for the Rays. I think he'll end up being their DH. The minor league deal at least gives them the option to like move him around if he's injured or maybe needs time recovering from an injury, because we know he gets injured. But if you didn't see, Hurricane Milton tore up the Tampa Bay Rays stadium, and they're not playing at Tropicana in 2025. They are playing at the Yankees spring training facility, which is called George M. Steinbrenner Field. You could see it now up on the screen. It looks like a tiny ballpark. It has 13 luxury suites. It has a grand total of 13,000. There's no actual outfield seating. Woohoo! The main thing that is going to be helpful for Eloy Jimenez is this is pretty much a exact replica of Yankee Stadium. The distance from the left field wall is 318 feet. So if Eloy is lucky and Eloy is able to take advantage of that short porch, this is the place to do it. I guess they are similar to Tropicana, but they are identical to Yankee Stadium. 318 out to left, 408 to center, 314 to right. There will be a lot of rain delays because I don't know if you know, it rains in Florida. They likely will have another hurricane there as well, so hopefully their other stadium doesn't get destroyed. But it must be weird to play in a new stadium that has a miniature version of Monument Park that is decked out to the nines in Yankee regalia. The arches at the top resemble Yankee Stadium. It is truly just a mini Yankee Stadium. You're playing in your rival stadium. I think it'd be very odd if Guaranteed Rate Field just randomly like crumbled and burned in a pile of dust. And then the Cubs were like, oh yeah, hey, weirdly enough, we have a perfect mini replica of a ballpark. The only issue, it looks exactly like Wrigley Field.
Yeah, I don't think the Sox would like that very much.
I wouldn't. I don't. That's gross. Be weird. Yeah. Hey, Bears, Soldier Field crumbled because Lake darn. Michigan, sucked it up in a what's it called? Let's say a landslide,
like a rogue wave, maybe.
Yeah, hey, a rogue wave. We have just a mini version of Lambeau Field that they'll house you for a year.
Oh God,
I'd puke.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Apparently the Yankees get half revenue. Woohoo! Are people gonna go? I would not want to go watch a baseball game in 103 humid degree weather. I mean, Florida people are built different. Maybe they'll be able to bring their crocodiles. They have dog days at Guaranteed Rate Field. Maybe they'll have croc days.
Wasn't there a story about somebody trying to bring their crocodile into the game and they got denied?
Where?
I don't know, but I remember this happening because it was like a story. I guess the crocodile is like internet famous or something. And the person tried to bring it into the game, and the security obviously said no because you can't bring a crocodile into a baseball game.
Oh, yeah. Emotional support alligator named Wally denied entry into Phillies ballpark. I think it makes sense. I don't think that an alligator... Sorry. Yeah, alligator. I didn't want to say crocodile. I don't think an alligator can be an emotional support animal.
I don't want to take away this person's support. If it supports you, that's great. It just is not going to support you in this ballpark because it has teeth no.
Can you cuddle it?
You can cuddle anything, I think.
But it would eat you.
They must like tape his mouth shut. That's my only...
It sounds inhumane.
It does, doesn't it? I'm not saying I support this.
I don't think the alligator supports this human.
I don't think so either.
Okay. All right. So, anyways, will Eloy turn around his career? Maybe. I would have to say no. Again, if I'm putting my money on either one of Moncada or Eloy to bounce back, I would say it's Moncada. He has a true defensive position. He can hit from both sides of the plate. He looked great in those 12 games. And then, again, the incident in Cleveland happened, and that was just a horrible way to go out. We appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button. I know that one dude doesn't want me to have a job, which is fine. But we got 27 people watching, and only 11 likes. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, we would appreciate it. Melissa said that the Hawks are down 2-0 already in the Winter Classic.
That is the last update I heard, yes.
No wonder White Sox fans and just Chicago fans are so brutal. Like, Who would want to watch any of this? Oh, yay, a holiday. I get the day off work. I get to watch my favorite team in a national broadcast game. And they are already losing and getting embarrassed. Great.
I will say, so
At least they rode the red line.
For those that don't know, I typically produce Bulls shows.
True.
And they won last night, which normally is good, but for the Bulls right now, that's very bad. So we had a very depressing post-game show. And we talked a little bit about the owner of the team. And I came into work today thinking, okay, well, we're going to have more uplifting shows today.
Yeah.
And then I had Cubs this morning, and it was depressing. And then we had Sox right now, and it, we talked about the same owner and all the same things. And
but
yeah.
Is it as depressing as the Bull show? We have the clown horn.
No, I do. The clown horn I might need to bring over to Bulls because that's just amazing.
I love that.
We don't have that on the Bull show.
And Hoyt, do you know about all of our sounds in the Sox folder? Do you play the Shriffen growl? Do you know about that one?
Oh my God, I forgot when that happened.
Hoyt,
yeah.
can you play the Yeah Buddy one too?
0-2 from Kopech. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
It's an immaculate inning.
Oh,
yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
right.
buddy.
See, you know what? Like, let's just embrace the suck. Give me more yeah buddies. Anyways, I got some more international free agent stuff. We talked about Roki Sasaki and how unlikely it is that Roki Sasaki will be a Chicago White Sox. He's met with 6 teams already in person, and Joel Wolf, I believe, is his representative. He basically said that it's up to Roki if he wants to meet with any more teams, but I doubt it that there's going to be a meeting with the White Sox if, you have a meeting with the Cubs already. I feel like that would already have happened.
Yeah.
If he's already coming to Chicago for a Cubs meeting, he's likely going to take a meeting with the White Sox. That hasn't happened, so I don't think Sasaki is likely. Again, baby steps into the Asian, Japanese, Korean, whatever it be, market. Diving into the Japanese phenom maybe might not have been the right step into that. But there are some other interesting prospects in 2025. Number 2, out of the Dominican, Yosar de Jesus Gonzalez, out of the Dominican Republic as well. Elena Pena, and then there's also out of the Dominican Republic, Chris Rodriguez, an outfielder. Very interesting, sure. But I would love, when the signing period opens in 16 days, for the White Sox to be a major player in Andrew Salas. The name might sound familiar. Ethan Salas is a top prospect with the San Diego Padres. He's like 19 years old, tearing up single A. I don't think he was too good in double A this year, but still just very, very young. Apparently, he comes from a baseball factory. Andrew Salas plays shortstop and outfield. He's 16, born, March 4th, 2008.
Oh
so
my God.
I know, right? I mean, like, well past the White Sox World Series title. 6'2", 185, already bigger than Steve Stone was in 1980. He's a switch hitter, throws right, a hitting grade, this is in the 20 to 80 scale, a hitting grade of 65, 40 on the power, 50 run, 50 for his arm, 65 field. Overall, a 55 grade prospect. Again, as we brought up, Carson Williams, who's like the top prospect for the Rays, is at a 60 value. George Wolko, who is intriguing, maybe has some red flags, is at a 40. The MLB.com grades Salas as a 55-year-old. But read this bio. The Salas family is one with long-standing roots in baseball, as Andrew's uncle and grandfather both played in minor leagues, while his father, Jose Sr., was a member of the Braves system at the turn of the century. Andrew is the youngest of the Salas boys, which also includes Jose and Ethan, both who have been highly regarded international prospects. Born in Florida before moving to Venezuela, Salas is bilingual and has been long trained by his father at the family's famed complex, where big leaguers have been known to stay sharp during the offseason. His background has made him uber competitive and driven, with some scouts believing he is the most athletically gifted of the brothers. I don't understand why this guy's 5. If he's got the bloodline, if he's got the whole, if he's got all the sirens, he plays shortstop and outfield, what is the reason not to? I am all for being in on the Andrew Salas train. I would love if David Keller was able to go and get that as a prized pick of their international signing. I know that they have $2 million already sent to, I believe, a Dominican third baseman. Scott Merkin put that in his newsletter. So maybe there is some money there, about $6 million. They can go out and get Salas, but I think that would be very, very fun for the Sox to get a big splash, because boy, do fans need it. I would love a big splash for all of you people out there. Hey, Pump is not Hump saying 65 wins. He's calling it. I do feel the 48.5 number, or whatever disrespectful thing was put out by BetMGM for the over-under of wins, is disrespectful. I think, again, in the past 30 years of an over-under was 57.5, and now they're going to the 40s. Like, a 10 win projection is truly disrespectful. TJ Stats, account I trust, put out the projected weighted runs created plus for teams in 2025, and the White Sox are 28th. They're not even the worst. He put out one for ERA plus coming out. They're 29th. They're not even the worst. They shouldn't even be the worst team in baseball. 48.5. You're smoking something. You're smoking something. All right, and I don't even think it's the good stuff. I don't think it's a sunny side thing. I don't think it's the good stuff. I think you got something in a back alley. I think it's something that Walter White would be screaming at somebody in a home goods store for. I think they took shortcuts, and I think that whoever did that is wrong. And I think that you should use your money, your hard-earned money, and gamble. It's just as easy as a return as the stocks, real estate. Gambling has been known to give people great fortunes, and it's a great way to build up a portfolio. Anyways.
Just for the sake of legal reasons, I have to clarify that Sean is being sarcastic.
Oh, am I?
I just have to clarify.
Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, Andrew Salas, please. There was also a video of shared by Joe Doyle of Yorger Bautista. He's a left-handed, 6'1", 175 Venezuelan outfielder, and he had a massive bomb and got extremely excited. Just give me someone that I can get excited about. Please. Cam Boozer. It's a fun last name. Not super excited. Mike Tauchman. It's not 2019. I'm not super excited. Austin Slater. I'm really just excited he's not wearing the number 13. Let's get some young blood and let's get some energy back in. All right. Final update. We'll give you a final update for the Hall of Fame inductions. The 2025 Baseball Hall of Fame tracker is up and going. The team run by @NotMrTibbs does a great job of updating it. There have been 83 public ballots. On the good side, David Haw has included his ballot, and he included Mark Burley. We love to see that. Haw. Thank you, David. You're always very kind. And then on the other half, unfortunately, now I'm forgetting his name. This is great. Forbes writer, who I dislike, who has blocked me on Twitter, who said that Tyler Saladino was better. Hold on. Saladino, Tim Anderson. Usually when there was two other people here, they could talk.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's great that for anybody to make their ballot public. I really appreciate that. I think the people who hide their ballots are absolute freaking cowards.
Agreed.
And you shouldn't have a ballot anymore. You shouldn't have a vote if you can't stand up to the fans.
See, this is why when you make a joke, you should actually know what you're saying. On the good side, there's David Haw, who voted for Mark Burley. We like David Haw. He's very nice. On the other end, there's Phil Rogers, who's smelly and stinks. But Phil Rogers also voted for Mark Burley. So, there's good and evil in the world, but thankfully both of them are voting for Mark Burley. 84 public ballots, 22.9% of the ballots have been known. So far, 7.3 votes per ballot. That's another thing, too. If you're going to vote, fill up the voting thing.
Yes.
No one has put in a 0-vote ballot so far. No one's put a 1-vote ballot in yet. There's been at least a ballot of 2 votes on every single ballot so far of the 84. Ichiro has been placed on every single ballot. But yeah, no, I'm with you. Put your name to it. If you're going to have the honor of voting, go out and vote.
Yeah, be proud of it. Or resign, as our friend earlier in the chat said.
Or resign like I'm going to in 2025. But Mark Burley in his 5th year, 11 votes so far, 12.4% of the vote. He needs 9 votes for 5% to keep him on the ballot. He already has 4 positive votes. He's gained 4 votes so far from writers. So a very, very good sign for Mark Buehrle. Andy Pettitte has also gotten 9 positive votes. Pettitte and Buehrle have very similar-ish ballots or similar-ish resumes. Pettitte obviously has more World Series wins, but Buehrle has the one. Buehrle has the drunken save. There's many ways to talk up Mark Buehrle, and it does seem like baseball writers are getting to know about him, or at least recognize the greatness. So could this be a 10-year-long journey for Mark Buehrle? Yes. Is it possible that he can get up to like 30% of the vote at some time? Maybe. But let's just keep him alive. Maybe it will take 21 ballots, just like Dick Allen. Tom's saying he won't get in. Maybe not in Tom's lifetime, but maybe in my lifetime. You know, we just got to keep going after it. I'll write the equivalent of a Chili Dog MVP book in 50 years. And then on, whatever the 50-year equivalent to the CHGO White Sox podcast, I'll be crying like Dr. David Keller was. But anyways.
Are you going to call it foot-long meat like you said earlier?
No. We're actually going to end the show. We're going to end the show. No, that's been a reference. Thank you to everyone for sticking with us in 2024 for the CHGO White Sox podcast. We obviously do miss Vinny and Herb, and I do know very clearly that the show is not the same. There's not 2 people sitting next to me. I'm not schizophrenic. I can see reality. So, hey, if you want me to resign, too fucking bad. All right, let's end the show. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.